Merry Christmas and happy holidays to all of our fans and all of our audiences that tune in to WPTP Radio 100.1 FM. We want to just wish all of your families a magnificent season of joy, peace, and love as we celebrate the birth of Jesus Christ. We are so excited during this time of season because it's the time that we show love and we do things with our family and we share gifts just to celebrate the birth of Jesus. And I want to say to that, we wish all of you a Merry, Merry Christmas from our team here at WPTP 100.1 FM and Alton Park Development Corporation. And as we close this year, I would be remiss to not say thank you to all the people who have been an active part in the success of Alton Park Development Corporation. We've had a long and amazing year. I want to thank all the folks who have contributed to Alton Park Development Corporation, from the 1 penny to the 1,000 to the 10,000 or whatever you gave. It is the reason why we are here, is your gift. And we thank you for your donations. You know that we are a 501c3 nonprofit organization, and we are a charitable organization. So everything we do is to give back to the community to help make our community a better community every year. We had an amazing Chattanooga Humanitarian Award Gala and Banquet on December the 16th. I want to thank all of you that purchased tickets, all of you that just gave donations for this amazing event, and definitely for all of the humanitarians that were honored. It was an amazing, amazing night. And we want to just go back and show each one of you who we honored. And we also had two very special women that were a part of this celebration, as they were much, much a part of the reason why Alton Park Development Corporation received the American Rescue Plan dollars. And so we'll let you see pictures of them. But I'm telling you, Dennis Milton Clark, our master of ceremony, was just truly an amazing host for the evening. I want to thank him for giving his time and also for those amazing program booklets that we had. He's just a talented person who just knows how to do some of everything. And I want to thank him for those booklets. They were beautiful. The souvenir booklets were beautiful. And definitely to our amazing corporate sponsors, Electric Power Board, EPB, Erlanger Hospital, also Affordable Dentures and Implants of Dalton, Georgia, and our table sponsors, these State Representative Yusuf Hakeem, Taylor Funeral Home, also our other table sponsors, Renee, who's the person over Midtown Insurance Company. She was an amazing table sponsor. Henry McClain with Reverend Henry McClain of Hamlet Chapel CME Church, and definitely those wonderful pink and green, beautiful, sophisticated, educated, never duplicated, and often imitated women of Alpha Kappa Alpha sorority. We thank you for your table sponsorships, and without you, the program would not have been a success as well. I would be remiss if I didn't thank our entertainers for the evening. Jimmy Allgood, who is a ISA award-winning artist. He's an international singer. We want to thank him for blessing us with his amazing talent for the evening. And also, we got a picture of our entertainer of the night. Can we flip that to him so we can show him the baking bassist? If we have a picture, we'll get the baking bassist was amazing. I would recommend these two gentlemen for any show that you have. They're definitely what I would call above the top of the line in terms of providing good quality entertainment. So I thank them. And the food was just a hit. I want to thank Mr. Rodney Billop with Herman's Soul Food Restaurant. The food was just amazing. Everybody enjoyed that. And so we had an amazing night. It was just beautiful, y'all. And in addition to that, we had some special people that helped to decorate the evening. It was just beautiful. I want to thank Sonia Day for coming out and making that place look like, I'm telling you, I thought we were in California, New York somewhere at a big event, because it definitely had the look of what I would call elegance, the look of first class. It was just amazing. Yeah, there's a picture of the bacon basis. He performed all night. The music was just on point. And our honorees, Pastor Tony Walliser with Silverdale Baptist Church, Pastor John Taylor, the owner of Taylor Funeral Home, Mr. Johnny Holloway, a Class 1 renowned civil rights activist, Mr. Charlie Brock, a class act businessman who have just done so much to give back to our community, not only here locally, but statewide and nationally. And then Pastor Henry McClain of Hamlet Chapel CMN Church. These men were just top of the line when you look at the souvenir booklets and read their history of the things that they have done. It was just amazing. I was just blown away. And so quite naturally, out of the 25 folks or more that were nominated, these 5 were the ones who were the top of the list. And I want to thank our city mayor, Tim Kelly, and our county mayor, who is Mr. Weston Womp, for providing those beautiful proclamations from the city and the county to our honorees, declaring December the 16th their day. And definitely to the board members of Alton Park Development Corporation. We would not be able to do the things that we do if we didn't have an amazing team of people working who you don't hardly see. You see me all the time, but behind every strong person, you got to believe there's a whole lot of strong person working with them. So I want to thank them individually, from our vice presidents, our first vice president, Cassandra Weidman, our second vice president, Karen Rose, our board members, Mr. James Gilliam, Miss Justine Jones, Miss Renee Ford, and Miss Megan Green. These are an amazing group of people. They were there before the event, setting up things, making sure we had all of our T's crossed and I's dotted, from picking up the awards that we also gave to the honorees, to picking up proclamations. Thank Karen Rose and Mr. James Gilliam for their contribution there, to selling these tickets for the event. We all played a role in that, and we thank them. Mr. Charlie Brock, who's a philanthropist, Mr. Johnny Holloway, civil rights activist, Mr. John Taylor Sr., community activist, pastor, and businessman, Mr. Henry McClain, pastor and community activist, Mr. Reverend Tony Walliser, and I'm sorry, I need to go back and repeat myself on it's Reverend Henry McClain, and Reverend Tony Walliser, who's the pastor and international philanthropist, pastor of Silverdale Baptist Church, which is one of the largest congregations in this region, over 7,000 members, over 11 church worship times during the weekend on Saturday and Sunday. We salute them over and over again. And then there were 2 very important women who were part of what we did. Those are our sponsors, our gold sponsor, EPB, our silver sponsor, Erlanger Hospital. And then we had, of course, our table sponsor, Mr. Yusuf, Taylor Funeral Home, Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority, Hamlet Chapel, CME. We want to thank them. And then, of course, the 2 beautiful women, Kathleen Jeter, who read the proclamation to her colleagues at the time. She's our former county commissioner, to grant Alton Park Development Corporation with the $450,000 we received for the restoration of this amazing historic building. We thank her. She's just a beautiful person inside and out. She didn't have to do it. She was not really our commissioner for our area, but she saw the need and she stepped right in without any hesitation. And I want to give her kudos and blessings right now at this time of the year. Peace to you, Miss Kathleen Jeter, for all that you do and all that you have done. And then, of course, we have Sabrina Smedley, who also was a former county commissioner. You know, it takes 2 or 3 to tangle and get things done. She was very much instrumental part in I call it lobbying for the commissioners to vote yes to give Autumn Park Development Corporation the funding. So I thank her and Commissioner Jeter for those 2 women. They were the only 2 women on the county commission, I would add, that stood up and said, we need to do this. It's the right thing to do. This is a historical school that meant a lot to the African or Black American community. It was built in '63 at the height of the civil rights movement for Black children only, and it remained segregated till it closed, even though segregation had ended. Because of its proximity and where it is in the neighborhood, this school remains segregated. But we want to thank them. And we are still working on finishing the restoration project. You know, we wanted and needed $2.5 million, and we got $450,000. So we were a long way away. But the major things that we did gave the building dignity. For example, the heating and air system. And I did a beautiful presentation, not that it was required, but I just wanted to go on record that this organization, what we did with the funding and how it's going to benefit the community in the future, and to ask people to continue to give so that we could complete the project. I committed myself, and the organization committed themselves to putting together a presentation. We'll make that available. It is available because they live streamed it. The county commission meeting live streamed it. So you can go back and watch this past Wednesday, December the 20th, the presentation from Autumn Park Development Corporation and the use of the American Rescue Plan funds, and some pictures of all the things that we were able to do to improve this building. And one of the major things that was most important to us was to get heating and air in the building. We did not have heating and air. This blessing allowed us to put heating and air units throughout the building, and I call it central air and heat throughout the building, so to protect us from the elements of the cold, the brutal cold weather in the winter, and the extreme hot temperatures in the summer, and also to protect the building from the damage from the rain and hail and storm with the roofing repairs and things that we did. And yes, we were able to beautify and modify the building so that when you come in, you can feel proud. Our Civic Center is probably one of our state-of-the-art, I would say state-of-the-art projects that we thought was very important. As you know, as a nonprofit, you know, you get funding to do things, but you have to be self-sufficient. Those are seed dollars. They don't just come every year. So one of the things we wanted to do was to make sure that not only we provided a service to the community, but that we were able to be self-sufficient. And our Civic Center is available for you to rent out for your parties, your anniversaries, or if we just want to come together for the Super Bowl game. We have a screening and all kinds of ways that you can watch your live feeds here. We have internet, Wi-Fi throughout the building, thanks to EPB and what they do to support us year round for the past 10 years. And a beautiful stage. So if you want to have a concert, if you want to have a play, if your church is wanting to put on a play, if you got a school that don't have a stage and you need to do a graduation for your students, consider the Chattanooga Civic Center at Mountainside for your event. And like I said, we do a lot of things. We serve the poor, the underserved, and the hungry, and the homeless. We have a radio station that is owned and operated through Autumn Park Development Corporation. I'm the founder, but it is a nonprofit radio station that allows you to come on and talk about not only your business, but any other things you want to talk about to inform and educate the community about what's going on in this community. We have an amazing thrift store, and all this stuff in our thrift store is priced at unbelievable prices that anybody could afford. We have a Mercy Dental Clinic in our facility, and we also have a computer center where you can come in and do your homework, apply for jobs, you name it, it's available. We did a lot of work on the outside of the building with trimming, painting, trimming, and all types of landscaping outside, and we're not done. We had very minimal to work with. So as you know, we stretched it and stretched it. That's a picture of our new heating system. We did have what we call the, I guess you would call it the, I forgot what kind of system it was, but it was what they used back in the 60s. And it wasn't working anymore. And we had to go to central air and heat. So that was the split unit you saw. These are some of the trees and shrubberies and flowers that we planted. And yes, we did put in a security system, alarm system, and camera system to protect our assets and to know what's going on throughout the evening and throughout the day to protect you if you feel some kind of way. But I will say this, Autumn Park community is a safe community. It's just as safe as any other community. And so we know back in the day, maybe Autumn Park wasn't so safe, but we have done so much thanks to the police department, thanks to our government, and the housing industry for really making this community a beautiful, safe haven and place for you to come. So for those who have that old attitude about Autumn Park, it's a new day. And so please feel welcome to come to our facility, do anything you want. The American Legion, which is also called the Scenic City Heroes, they also lease in this facility, and they do all kinds of things for the military folk. That's what they do, and for children. So I want to give a salute to them because they were also our hostess for the evening at our gala event that we had. So kudos to them. They are some amazing men. They've had several events in our facility, and I just love them. I love them for what they do. I love them for what they stand for and for keeping our country safe during the years that they were active duty. Some of them are still doing some things on the weekend for the military, but it's just their heart. They're still doing service beyond the military life. And I just want to say thank you to Mr. Tate and all the wonderful men that serve with you with the American Legion. And thank you all for being a big part of our gala, for securing the facility, for escorting people from their cars and getting them in safely and seating them at the right table, escorting them back to their cars. I want to thank the city police department, Mr. Sergeant Stokes, for providing that extra security outside. Not that it was just really needed, but you need to be protected at all times. You never know, so we were just excited about just feeling safe in the building at our event. We'll always be safe in our building, no matter what, because God is with us, and we know that this whole project is a God thing. And we just want to thank all of you for what you've done in the past. There's so many folks that have donated. I want to encourage you all to continue to donate. Autumn Park Development Corporation is the last and only surviving African-American based and ran and operated community development corporation in the city. We're the oldest. We were formed in 1998, and we are the largest. We have very competent people on our board. They're all business people. They own their own business, have degrees in various areas, from doctorate degrees to architectural degrees to degrees in education and degrees in human services and community services and construction workers. I mean, they do it all. So we are very highly competent, and we feel so good about the diversity on our board with what we can do in this community and what we're already doing, even outside of Autumn Park Development Corporation. So I just want to thank each and every one of you. That's my show for today, is to give thanks to you and to wish you a Merry Christmas and to say to you that we love you. We're going to be doing a whole lot of other things as the year 2024 unfolds. We've got Martin Luther King holiday coming up in January. We've got Black History Month coming up in February. We just have a lot of stuff, a lot of things that we'll talk about as the year comes on. So I want you to be informed. I want you all to be involved. I want you all to come out and support the oldest living, and I would say surviving Black Community Development Corporation in Hamilton County. We have a lot of 501c3s, and that's a blessing as well. But we are a community development corporation, and our goal is to develop the community. One of the first reasons we were formed in 1998 was to clean the air. We saved the city of Chattanooga from, I would call it, destruction, because the industries had taken over, and we had the most environmentally disastrous community in the nation. In 1965, Walter Cronkite declared that Chattanooga was the dirtiest city in the nation. And so we were formed for the sole purpose of cleaning the air, cleaning the water that was contaminated by these industries, and the soil. And we did it through a Hope 6 grant. And so many people were involved on the local level. All of our community foundations, from Lyndhurst to, I would say, the Chattanooga Community Foundation, to just too many to name. But when we got through, the project was a total value or worth of over $115 million. We cleaned the water up. Some factories ran out of business because they were polluting the water, the air, the soil. They were not getting rid of the toxic waste in the proper way. So the Environmental Protection Agency moved in as well. And Autumn Park Development Corporation was that official partner with our local and state government that caused this clean, what you all are enjoying right now, this clean air, this beautiful recreational community that we have, where you're riding your bikes and you're jogging, and we're having all these different events to come to our town. Ironman, swimming in the water, not feeling like when you get out of the water, your skin's gonna peel off. I mean, it's a wonderful thing to know that we have clean air, clean water, clean soil, and it's all because of Autumn Park Development Corporation and our partners. The Housing Authority, we cleaned up the blight and the slum in Alton Park. We rebuilt the Spencer McCauley homes, and now you all know it as the Villages in Alton Park. Some of the funds were used to uplift the Black businesses that have been out here since, Autumn Park became a part of Chattanooga. They were able to invest some of that money to uplift their businesses. Bears Barbershop was one of them. And so we just thank you. Our history is rich. We didn't just appear out of nowhere. And now we're continuing to do the great things in the community. And I want to thank the president that passed the torch on to me, Mr. George Calhoun, for having the insight to know that after Hope 6 was over with and we cleaned all the air up, that there was still tons of work to be done. And so we continued the Autumn Park Development Corporation. And yes, it came to a point to where this historic building was put on auction. And I'm not going to go into it again because most of you all have heard the story. I bidded on it and won the bid. And by default, if you want to hear that story, call me up and I'll tell you. But it's amazing that we own this facility and we're debt free. We don't owe a note on it. But we do have to pay the bills. We have to pay our taxes. We have to pay the light bill, the sewage bill, the water bill, and any other maintenance bills that are affiliated with this 48,000 square foot facility with 8 acres of land. So we're asking for support because this is your facility. It is a civic center now, and it is historical, and we're going to preserve the history of it because it meant so much to this community, and we're going to continue to be a blessing in this community with the things that we do. So with that being said, again, I'm going to wish you all a Merry Christmas, and we're going to end the show with some of your favorite Christmas medleys, and I hope you enjoy it. I think Michael has queued up some Kenny G Christmas music, and maybe Robin, who is our other engineer. Those two men are amazing. The show that was put on, they put it all together, from the audio visual to the videotaping and all that thing, and making sure the wires were together and that the sound was coming through magnificently for our audience, for our guests. So I want to give a kudos to them. Dr. Michael Slyman, who is our director of marketing, and also Mr. Robin, who is our chief engineer. When you hear our music, anything that goes on with the 100.1 FM, you'll know that Robin's behind it. Our Facebook page, our YouTube channel, our Facebook fan page, our Twitter and Instagram, which allows people to view us all over the world, wherever there's internet. You can watch us. You can see this show repeatedly. You can go back and watch it over because we record all of our shows. So I want to thank Michael for being the engineer behind that to make it happen. I am at my home today. I'm not in the studio. And so I want to thank Michael for putting together the virtual images that you're seeing for me to be able to talk to you from my home. I have my beautiful 2 grandchildren here with me. So they're having fun with Nana. And I just wanted to continue to be home with my grandbabies and family. And I thank you all for supporting Alden Park Development Corporation and me. And he's going to start a slideshow so you can see what happened at the gala. And to that, I'm going to go off the show. That's a nice table set up there. All the tables were set up and beautiful. And to donate, to continue to donate, look at Dennis and Mr. The Bacon Basis, our stage, our platform. You're going to see a lot of people here. These were shot before the gala started. All the beautiful salad that was prepared by Herman's Soul Food and Restaurant. Everything was just delicious, from the dessert, the cheesecakes, the chocolate pudding cakes. Everything was just totally good. There is our award-winning superstar, Jimmy Allgood, and our Vice President, Cassandra Weidman. And these are some guests from EPB. Boy, they were sharp. Those are our Honorees awards from the city and the county and from Alden Park Development Corporation that you see displayed on the awards table. Y'all, it was second to none. This was first class. It was elegant and just really a beautiful gala. And so I'm really proud of what the community and our board and all of you have done to help support to make this happen. Those are the awards given by Alden Park Development Corporation, which is the humanitarian award that we give out every year with the 3 men holding the world up above them. The honorees tables, people begin to come in. The bar in the background, you can see where we serve from. These are some amazing guests that were there that we took some pictures of from Hamlet Chapel supporting their pastor. They came out. In fact, they had 2 tables of people that came out to support Reverend McClain. Most people had a lot of guests there to support them as they received the awards, from family members to church members to friends. And so it was just an amazing night. I'm telling you, it was just a great gala. That was early on as people were beginning to fill in. But by the end of the evening, I would tell you all, that's Pastor Walliser and his wife and his guests, all the wonderful hostess and the people that helped decorate, Samuel Dave and her assistant there, Miss Tina, one of the board members, Justine Jones, posing in front of the repeat banner on the red carpet, walking the red carpet. Beautiful shots of her. And our first vice president, Cassandra Weidman, beautiful shot of them, some more guests. They were just enjoying themselves. Everybody was really enjoying themselves. It was a very beautiful, like I said, first class, elegant event. Everybody was dressed up and looking so beautiful for the evening. And our video presentation was amazing. Like to thank Miss Morgan, who was our video photographer. We do have a video of the event as well. There's myself and Karen and let's see. Oh yeah, civil rights activist Johnny Holloway and his son and his wife at the table with them. They were beginning to fill in then. Pastor McClain and his lovely guests. Oh yeah, Sabrina Smedley, former Hamilton County Commissioner, and just beautiful, just beautiful. I would say he looked like Samuel L. Jackson, that guy. And there's John Taylor Funeral Home. There's one of our biggest filmmaker and producer, Mr. Devon Cooper, and Mr. Tracy Shaw, businessman. They were there. Just beautiful. And there was myself posing with those two men. And Miss Sabrina Smedley and Miss Jeter. We were posing together there in that scene. And two of our honorees, Mr. Taylor and Reverend McClain, and Johnny Holloway, civil rights activist, Pastor Walliser, his wife and guest, and EPB again at their table. And Erlanger had a table too. So it was just nice. Affordable Dentures and Implants, a platinum sponsor of the event. There are two more wonderful guests that were there that sat at I forget Tina's table, I believe. So we were just having a great time. And there is Mr. T.L. Woods, my brother, and Tina posing together, some other folks. Oh, yeah, Commissioner Greg Beck is in the house, and Dennis and myself looking over some text messages. Dr. Edna Varner was in the house. She's also a former Humanitarian Award honoree as well last year. Dennis. And there is one of our beautiful young folk posing. She is one of the members of our board. I call them, they don't have voting rights, but they are advisors to the board from the youth area. She's in her early 30s, and there's Sergeant Stokes there, who was outside with the blue lights on, and there's Mr. Brock and his wife and daughter and myself posing. And so I want to thank the Chattanooga News Free Press for also coming out, and Miss Morgan and Chris Palmer for providing beautiful pictures and videotape that will be uploaded onto our website at apdc98.org. There's Benita Rose again, and Bacon Basis and Dennis doing their thing on the stage for the evening. And then that's kind of a full shot of everybody that's there. Every seat was taken. So we sold out on this event, and I thank you all. There's our board minus Megan. I don't know where she was, but that's our board. They make it happen. And there's Commissioner Beck. He gave the prayer for the evening. And so we just had a great time. That's all I can say. It was just beautiful. Nothing was unturned. There's that beautiful, nice, delicious chicken. It's good. And potatoes. Whoa, it was so good. Green beans and rolls. Everything was just good. Everything was good. So I thank everybody, and I'm going to let you all continue to enjoy these wonderful photographs. Those the people that were serving us. For folks in line, there is Mr. Rodney Billups and his wonderful servers there as people were getting their plates and food. And so they did an excellent job. Top notch, first class catering service. Herman's Soul Food and Restaurant. You cannot go wrong when you choose them to cater your events. You cannot go wrong. Alpha Kappa Alpha sorority. All of my beautiful sisters that were there. We had a table. Thank you, beautiful women, and the Ivy Rose Foundation, which is our nonprofit component of Alpha Kappa Alpha, for supporting the Chattanooga Humanitarian Award Gala and coming out in great numbers. So I thank you all. It was a beautiful thing to see the ladies of pink and green be there for this magnificent event. And Miss Benita Rose, one of our young folks that's keeping us in touch. And those are my beautiful grandchildren. That's been Nairobi and Ravina and my daughter. So they were all there as well. So I thank them for coming out. And Councilwoman Rakita Dotley, on behalf of the city of Chattanooga, read the proclamations from City Mayor Kelly, and also County Commissioner Graham, or some more guests posing for the pictures. It was just beautiful, y'all. It was beautiful. But I told you this is our sixth annual event. And those are our beautiful men of the American Legion and women that were hostesses for the evening. And there's our beautiful photographer coming down. And my cousin, that's my cousin there. Okay. Yeah, there he is, and his beautiful lady friend that he brought with him. Ellis Robertson, that's his name. And I have to think, because we got nicknames for everybody in our family. Like, I'm not Elenora, I'm not Dr. Woods. And you have to be in my family to know my nickname. But had to think for a minute. And there is Miss Renee Ford giving Mr. Brock his award from Allen Park Development Corporation. And there we are posing with his proclamation. And there is our awesome, iconic civil rights leader, Mr. Johnny Holloway. That man is amazing. He was one of the plaintiffs in the case of Brown versus the city commissioners of Chattanooga that won that lawsuit that changed our form of government from a citywide form of government to a district form of government. And that was very historic. And we are still operating under the district representation, so that every neighborhood has a fair opportunity of getting equal access to funds for their community. So we thank him for that. And he's done so much more. You got to read it when we put it up on our website of all the stuff he's done. Mr. Walliser, one of the biggest and greatest, I would say, philanthropists in this community, giving back more than $1 million every year from his church to those in need and spreading it not only locally, but around the world globally. So we thank him. There is Commissioner Graham, and representing the county, Hamilton County, and Mayor Zach Womp, and also City Councilwoman Rakita Dotley, representing Mayor Tim Kelly and the city of Chattanooga, awarding the proclamations from the city. And so we thank them for being there. Our mayors would have loved to have been there, but they were committed. But they made sure that they got the proclamation signed and ready for our amazing humanitarians. So I thank them again for that. And we look forward to next year. This is a process. It is not something that we just pick out of the air and choose people. Nominations, if you have a nomination, you can submit your nominations, and then the nominations are vetted. And then after they're vetted, the board votes on them, and then it's turned over to our city and county mayor for approval. So it is a process. So these are fine men and women in the past who have truly exemplified what a humanitarian is. And so it goes without saying, we're proud as Allen Park Development Corporation to be the organization to honor these folk in our community for giving back to our community and making Chattanooga and Hamilton County a wonderful place to live and a best place to come, and for all of our underserved community to give back to them so that they can feel the love as well. That's what it's all about. If you have much, much is required. And we should all touch somebody in that way, whether it's $1 you give or whether it's a food that you share with them over the holiday. Make somebody's life better because of what you did. And that's what a humanitarian is. So I thank you all. And I'm going to clock out while you all enjoy the rest of this beautiful, amazing video and enjoy seeing and watching our humanitarians as they receive their proclamations and awards. So on behalf of Auburn Park Development Corporation, you all know that today is Saturday, tomorrow is Sunday, and I know it's a holiday weekend. But if you can't get to the church, virtual church is always there. That's my baby. That's my baby again. Virtual church is always available. You can look at church live stream and watch us anywhere in the world. And if you want a church home and you're looking for a church home, you know that I'm going to invite you to come to Greater Emmanuel Apostolic Church, where the pastor Paul Warfield Jr. is our pastor. And it's a wonderful place to come and worship. 400 Tunnel Boulevard, Eastdale. Come on out and worship with us. We'd love to have you. And so with that being said, don't forget to give the Lord praises and thank him for all the blessings, because you didn't have to be here. You know, a lot of people didn't wake up, but he saw fit to give you another day and to bless you throughout the year of 2023. Get on your knees. If you don't get on your knees, bow your head and pray and thank the Lord for all of your blessings. And I'm going to end on that note. Have a great holiday and Happy New Year.